When I finally watched FMW for the first time and watched an Onita match, Onita's a pioneer, and he's like God to some people. I felt like I wasn't watching a wrestling match. I felt like I was watching a movie. And just because of how they shot the matches in Japan, and the way Onita sold, and his facials and his mannerisms, and all his matches were so emotional. After the matches, they would film the stuff in the locker room. The guy he just wrestled, they would be side by side crying, and because they just went through so much emotion and passion, and they're all bloody and cut up, getting blown up in explosion barbed wire matches. And I was mesmerized as a teenager watching those matches. I felt something in me. And I'm like, this is what I wanted to do. The way I wanted to work and wrestle was very similar to Onita. Working Kurgan Hall and going to Japan is, the Mecca.
But I am going to put out a challenge myself. You see, ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing left that the bulldozer has to do in this sport, Japan.
I'm like, how do I do this? I don't have any connections, no networking. I don't know anybody over there. And again, don't want to play politics. I don't want to fly myself over. I was talking to Steve Monster Mac, and we were talking about Japan. And I asked him, I'm like, what do I need to do to get to Japan, to get their attention? And Monster Mac said, do what Taz did in ECW when he was champion. He would call out other champions. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go that route. And I'm gonna call out the biggest name of all time.
And I'm not wasting any more time. I'm calling out the big dogs. FMW, Onita, bring it the fuck on.
When I first called out Onita, people laughed. There's no way this is ever gonna happen. Even in my own mind, I'm like, this ain't never gonna happen. But I really wanted it. I wanted to get to Japan. And I cut a promo after a match in West Virginia. I was just in the zone, I was feeling it.
The bulldozer Matt Tremont will get to Japan. I will conquer Japan. Because Japan is fucking scared. Onita! Onita! Onita!
That was the one promo that Onita saw that, I guess caught his eye. Again, he didn't know who the hell I was. I'm just some random kid from Jersey calling him out. He has no idea. But he said he just, he felt the passion in the promo.
And that's what inspired me.
He hasn't been in America in many, many years. Other promotions that were larger scale in the business, XPW, ECW tried to bring him over. It didn't happen. So he wasn't over here for like 20 years. I was sitting at my store at the time, and I got a DM on Twitter. And then immediately I hit up DJ Hyde, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just got done talking to the legend and God himself, and he wants to do business, and I don't know what exactly, but something's there. And I got those two in talk. They started talking, and this was as early as January or February of 2017. And, you know, that day of the once-in-a-lifetime match, earlier that morning, met Onita for the first time because we all met at the Wingate Hotel that was across the street from the Flyer Skate Zone. And I was just, I remember being in shock and in awe and just like mesmerized. And I'm like, I can't believe he's here. He looks like a rock star. I'm out here in sweatpants and flip-flops. I should have dressed a little better. To me, it's like being Hulk Hogan and, you know, everybody else is top, you know, WWF guys, but he's Onita. Yeah, that's awesome. Also, I was very sick going into the Onita match. I wound up getting an infection in my arm, almost lost my arm. I was in the hospital for like 11, 12 days. I signed myself out because I was not missing this match. I was literally knocking on death's door, but I was not missing this match. I would have wrestled with no arm. I wouldn't have cared.
If I die in that ring on August 5th, 2017, my dream will become a reality. And I'll die with a smile on my fucking face. Because I faced the God. I faced the legend. Onita. Onita! Onita!
A lot of people didn't think it was going to happen either, or that he was going to come over, but we made it happen. And I got to wrestle him in front of, you know, one of the largest crowds in CZW history. That was for everybody. That was for all the deathmatch fans. That was for, you know, all of us who bought FMW VHS tapes. You know, so many people came to that show that were workers in the business that weren't even on the show, but were, you know, friends of mine, fans of mine, or you know, fans of Onita. In the end of all that, at least a once-in-a-lifetime match, even with like a little bit of, you know, controversy with, it was supposed to be a singles, then it became a six-man, and that was all business and all stuff out of my hands. I didn't care if it was a singles match, a six-man tag, could have been 20 people in the match. I got to do something with Onita. Still surreal. I'm like, I know Onita. This is like the guy, my hero and inspiration I watched on a VHS tape and online on videos, you know, for many years. Like, I know the guy. He's like someone I can call a friend. And then he took me to Japan. After, you know, all these years. Felt like I finally, not that I finally made it, but it made everything I'd done seem, you know, worth it. I left CZW for a short period of time. Again, back to like the politics and the drama. I had enough. No one did anything to me in particular, but I couldn't be part of a toxic environment anymore, and just hearing and seeing all the politics and stuff. So I took myself out of the situation. 5 months later, DJ High calls me and says, I'm bringing Onita back. He'll only work with you and tag with you. Will you come back? And that's why I went back to CZW, just so I could work with Onita again. So yeah, got to work with him twice here in the States. Second time at the ECW Arena in Philly on a Cage of Death show. I guess if people bring up myself or my career, yeah, that's definitely I think the matches, moments, whatever that I'll be most known for. People saw my work with him and then wanted to check out the rest of my body of work afterwards. So yeah, I owe a lot to Onita when he didn't have to.